What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to this special edition of One-on-One with Donovan Sharpe. I, of course, am joined by the man, Kevin Samuels. Kevin, listen, man, you landed this morning. You got here to the studio a half an hour ago. How you doing, man?
I am well. We got the Red Bull on deck and ready to go.
That's the first thing Kevin told me. I said, hey, listen, is there anything you need? Kevin told me, hey, I need Red Bull on deck, so I sent Dev to CVS. And she got a couple of Red Bulls. In case anybody is wondering, I do not have eczema of the arm. I actually got some ink a little earlier today, and so I'm covered in the plastic. I'm supposed to keep this on for 2 hours, so my guess is that I'll probably take this off sometime before dinner. I'm told that your mic is blocking your face, so if you want to lower, you can actually lower the mic all the way down by the arm. There you go, and you can actually extend it out a little bit. There you go. You can actually pull it towards you.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Excellent.
All right.
How does he sound? You good? Yep. All right, cool. Very good. Okay, so shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat dogs, I think, as other people like to say. So, Kevin, the main reason why, listen, you have absolutely blown up. You've been shot into the stratosphere. And the two words that have put you into the ethos, into mainstream, is high value. How has your life changed since you started talking about high value?
Well, first off, I'm not going to take credit for high value. Okay. If you've been around the Manosphere, it's always been there. I mean, it's in the definition of hypergamy.
Right.
But I've just had a moment in time, so it's changed because for the first time, you have women actually sitting down listening to red pill RP
there
content,
you go.
RP content. And I have with my background in advertising, sales, and marketing, the presentation and such and so forth. That women, I actually see them, Donovan. Women are in their zone. I need to show you this show I did Friday. 12 women.
I'm being told you need to pull your mic even closer here. So what you can do is, I guess I should have done this. You can actually, you can kind of do it like that. Yeah, there you go. Because when you turn your head, it fades. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there you go.
So women are actually putting on dresses.
Oh, wow.
Glasses of wine, calling it this, and I'm just like, this is the first time this has all kind of happened. So obviously, it's changed my life a lot because I go out in Atlanta and I'm immediately recognized by people who watch the show.
Wow.
And
I can't even imagine.
And I'm like, I just got 100,000. What would it be like if you had 1 million? It's a good thing because women are finally hearing it from a man's standpoint, and it feels like I'm not going to say that they're doing it for the right reasons, but they're listening.
Right.
So it's the beginning of a conversation, so it's a good thing.
Why are they listening now? Because, listen, man, I've been a part of the Manosphere for over 6 years now. I wrote for Return of Kings, wrote for another website, have had this YouTube channel for God knows how long, and all we've gotten from women in terms of our content is the middle finger. Why are they now listening after years and years of us telling them the same thing? Is it because a well-dressed man is telling them these things? Are there other factors?
That doesn't hurt, but I think several things happen.
Okay.
One, they could not get rid of the Manosphere. They've tried.
Yes, they have.
Number two, content, live streaming has changed the game because it's now visual. It's visual much more than this pre-recorded standalone videos. And then three, it took an act of God, the CV-19.
Yep.
When you are strong, independent, you have a career, you got all these things going on, and all of a sudden you go from that to lockdown in your home, and you can't go anywhere. You look to your right, to your left, and there's nobody there. It's the first time that many people, women in particular, have had a chance to really take stock and inventory. Donovan, most women go to work in corporate America and get their attention fixed.
Right.
Then they go out with their girlfriends. And I remember taking videos and seeing in Atlanta groups of women just out and about. That stopped.
Wow.
So they're all at home, and then they're seeing that if I need to go out to the grocery store, I don't have a man that can go out there. I got to go fight, for toilet tissue and Lysol wipes by myself and risk the virus and everything else. So women are feeling vulnerable, and it's gotten to the point that they're like, all right. And it happened at the end of winter. But we knew it was going to, now we're back in the beginning of fall, and we're going to have flu season in the second round. So women were finally like, okay, I can't do this again. So I think it's just a perfect storm.
Big thanks goes out to, I just had it up here, Steve on the East Coast with the $5 super chat says, thank you for your service to men, gentlemen. How did you get started? Because you weren't really a Manosphere guy. You are an image consultant. How did you end up in the red pill community, I guess?
Well, anybody who's known me since college, since the 80s, I've always been fascinated with interpersonal relationships.
Okay.
I used to sit on relationship panels back in the late 80s, 90s when Donahue, Ricky Lake, Sally Jessel, Raphael,
Jenny Jones.
Yes. And then on our college campuses, these were hot topics. So I've always been drawn to the dynamics between men and women, because I came from a single parent household. Father had all these kids. So, it's always been interesting to me. And what I used to, when growing up in the church, I saw lots of guys, good guys like ourselves, who would make something of themselves, get married or have a relationship, and then all of a sudden they end up upside down, torn out the frame, and it's like, well, why can't men of our generation get what the previous men got? And it was always been fascinating. So that's always been there for me. In church, I ran the singles ministry. But in the men's ministry, I got involved in MRA-like activities.
Okay.
Because I've had to go through family court and things like that. And I'm just noticed that men wasn't getting a fair shake. So I've always been interested and involved. But as an image consultant, if you come to me and say, all right, Kevin, most people come to me after a major transition. They're trying to get an improvement at work, or they have a breakup in a relationship and they're back out there. So let's say I get your image together, your appearance. So guys still got to get back out there in life.
Right.
And part of life is women. So guys are like, well, I be doing all this work, self-improvement, personal development, and I don't have anything out there that is on my level. So it kind of made sense that I started helping my clients or understanding what my clients were dealing with downstream.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I got there, man.
Excellent, man. I've got the first question for you. Is marriage for today's everyday man, or is it for high value men only? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do with the mic. Pull this right here is gonna bend a little bit, so pull it towards you.
This one?
Yeah, you can actually pull that towards you so that. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah. All right. Basically, go right in front of you. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Perfect.
All right. And I'm told your suit is so fly, it's actually fucking with the mic. It's actually quite funny. But yeah, is marriage for today's everyday man, or is it for high value men only? Because listen, in our sphere, we say high value men don't get married. High value men, where we're advising, listen, if you're a high value man, do not get married. If you're a high value man, do not get into a cohabitating relationship. Then guys come back and say, well, Rollo Tomasi's been married for 23 years. Donovan Sharpe's in a cohabitating relationship. If he can do it, then why can't I? So do you think marriage, long-term relationships, et cetera, are for everyday men, or is it for high-value men only?
This is a tricky one. For everyday men, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to say no because if my show is showing me nothing, it's that women from 1 to 9s all want what they consider to be high-value men.
Yep, that's right.
And it's getting worse. I had Dr. Hassan Johnson on my show the other day, and he said, what's one of the things that's also witnessed in the 80s and 90s, the explosion of women's hypergamy. And it's just gotten more and more and more intense, so the average man can't do it. He teaches black masculine studies at University of California, Fresno. Sorry, doctor.
Black masculine studies? That's a thing. Wow. Okay.
And the funny thing is, the major people enrolled in his class used to be white women. Now they're Latinas because they're trying to date brothers.
What?
But this is what he said. He said, I got 17, 18, 19-year-old in my class. He says to the guys, to date a woman that's sitting next to you, or a woman on the kind of level that you want to date, how much money do you need to make?
Woo.
And he said in 10 years, he said nobody said less than 6 figures. But yet they're 17. You can't make that kind of money. Right. And then women, I mean, I ask the questions. They want to be a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids and driving a Porsche truck. And I'm like, you know how much money a man needs to make to facilitate their lifestyle? And they're like, I don't care.
Right, they don't care.
So as a regular, average, everyday, no. And then for high-value men, well, I want to break it into a couple of things. For high-value men, if you're in a white-collar environment, long-term relationship wives always had utility.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I had a woman on my show there, and I'll let you listen to the call. When a truly high-value woman is around, she is helping you she's helping you in your network. She's helping everything about you. Her life is you.
Right.
So that is a woman that's totally committed, totally on your platform. But those women are few and far in between. So I would be remiss to act like this high-value thing, which is less than 10% of men possible.
Right.
That guys can attain that, you know.
What is a high value woman? Are there different kinds of high value women? Are there different maybe levels of high value women?
I say a high value woman is first, the foundational points is her attitude and her appearance.
Okay.
But 2 women called my show who basically said we were raised to be high value women. You know, we went to the fencing classes, the $1,000 a day etiquette classes. And here's what it is. A high value woman has to be completely available and at her man's disposal.
Right. Now that I agree with.
And that's really the essence of it, because high value is about utility.
Yes.
Okay. Men need a woman to be useful to what they need, not their agenda.
That's right.
So, yeah, we could get out, and that's what I'm kind of starting to do on my channel, to starting to have the women understand. Okay, what value do you bring to a high value man, or what value do you bring? Period. And now they're kind of like, wow.
I'll tell you this though. There are a lot of men in our audience who make the egregious mistake of thinking that a complete package, a complete high-value woman is just going to find them, right?
Oh.
Her attitude is great, she looks good, and she fits my purpose. She fits my... No. The attitude and the way she looks, that is a given. Listen, you have to be physically attractive. You absolutely cannot act like a female dog. You have to have a good attitude. You have to be agreeable, all of that stuff. But it's on the man to increase a woman's value. Only a man can increase a woman's value in ways that can help him.
Agreed.
I'll use myself as an example. When I first got with Devin, I was well aware of the fact that she had years and years of internet marketing experience. She had a very good job with a very good company. And so I'm not saying, listen, when I first met her, I didn't say, you know what, I think I could. No, when I first met Devin, all I was trying to do was fuck. That was it. That's all I was trying to do was get laid. But the more time I spent with her, the more I actually began to like her as a person. Then she took me to Hawaii, and I said, okay, now she's got skin in the game. Right. She told me she was ready for a change, and she ended up proving that over an 18-month period. As our relationship has progressed, she has become more and more involved with things, and now here we are. She works for me. She is the producer of my show. So her value to me is extremely high, but most of that value was given to her by me. I rid her, or supposedly rid her, of the, I guess, of the habits and characteristics that put relationships at risk. I let her know. I'm the one that gave her direction. If I were to dump her tomorrow, guess what? She'd go right back to the habits that she was doing before she met me. That's the way of it. So I think what men have to understand is that, yes, you have to find a woman who is attractive, agreeable, feminine, submissive, et cetera, but you got to understand, man, if you want a submissive women are looking to you to be the leader. Yeah. She's not just going to be submissive on her own. A woman needs direction. If you cannot give her direction, she will seek it out somewhere else.
Yes, and one of the things I noticed that there's a difference between women who are trained versus women who are groomed.
Wow, I never thought about that.
And see, the women who are really trained to be high value women or very useful to men, come from mothers who teach their daughters that there should never be a period in a woman's life to where she's not under discipline.
Okay.
Meaning, the scale is discipline. Your body count is discipline. Your network, everything it's a discipline. And the man that's looking for a woman like you will find you, and you'll separate yourself from the other women, and then he can actually groom you to fit his particular needs. So there's the training portion, which many women today don't get. So the grooming portion is really incumbent upon a man to actually say, well, here's my particular situation, and here's what room I need a woman for, and I'm going to groom you to fit that. And it's like, and she has to be agreeable to just say, I'm at your complete disposal. Use me as you need.
And how many women would cringe at the thought of that? I remember this one woman who called your show. And by the way, Kevin, nobody fleeces these broads like you do. It's weird. It's almost like you're an FBI interrogator crossed with a prosecuting attorney, because you undress these women, and here's the thing, you never tell them what their faults and frailties are. You make them tell on themselves. I've never seen anything like it. Nobody does it like you, man. But like you were saying before, in terms of a woman's value, as men, we have to build value. Women simply have to preserve it. When a woman is born, when a female is born, she is already given everything she needs to secure a high value man. Listen, if a girl can get to 18 years old as a virgin, who doesn't smoke, who didn't get fat, who doesn't have any tattoos or piercings, that is a lottery ticket. Men worth into the 8 and 9 figures will move heaven and earth to secure such a specimen. Whereas we as men at 18 years old, we're just beginning. We got to learn to fight. We have to learn to save money. We need to add utility. So all women really have to do is stay awake, keep it on the road. Men, we have to be proactive. Women simply have to be. But even still, with the easier task, they are showing an ineptitude in maintaining and preserving the lottery ticket they're given just by being born a woman. And especially black women. Remember the black woman that called up? You said, are you willing to let the next man in your life discipline your son? And she said, that was it right there. You remember that? I was like, see that? It's almost like, and it's not just black women, it's like women are just trained to be disagreeable from the start, and it's killing them.
Well, and like I said, when I cut last night's show up, listening to all the women who call themselves high value, and then contrast it with the 2 women or 3 women who were all Latina,
right?
And the first woman was a medical doctor.
Okay,
and she's like, you ladies are talking about you make 6 figures. I make 3 times 6 figures, and I'm not. And she just started, and it was just like the most eloquent 5 minutes, and then I had a woman call in from the DR. And see, the difference is in attitude. A lot of women in the United States or Western countries feel like they're doing men a favor. You're doing us a favor. Yep. I mean, I got women saying they feel like they're an 8 on a scale of 8 out of 10, up there with Beyonce looks, and I'm saying,
what?
And I'm like, lady, I see you. You're a 5 at best. And I'm being, but when you think of, most women in this country have been made to think of men as disposable, as utilities. And so the notion of actually serving somebody that you think is beneath you,
right?
It's a hard push.
It is. NYK 31 with the $5 super chat says the 2 hardest working men on YouTube. Dude, you have no idea. You did a show yesterday, didn't you?
Yes.
Good God. Kevin got exactly 3 hours and 48 minutes of sleep last night, or this morning, if that. Book of Alpharonomy with the $100 super chat says DS and KS for the jumbo combo. If they're not hating, you're not operating. Keep grinding and growing, brothers. Appreciate that.
You're away in the house.
Yes, sir. Technomage B5, $50 says, I thought I had a BP type relationship. When Kevin Samuels pointed out recently, if women are willing to invest in a man in his early years, that's one way she can end up with a high-value man. I'm not there, but my status and income are higher than most already, so AWOLT. Listen, very astute observation. Ramil Amur with another $50 super chat. We got 1,000 people in the chat already. I think that's the quickest we've been to 1,000. We have many other 1,173 people watching. Let's go to our next question. Here's another question, and this is an interesting question. This guy wants to know, how can men determine their value in regards to the value spectrum in your view? Do men determine their value, or is that determined by the market?
You can gauge your value.
Okay.
You can gauge your value. You know, when I talk about high value, I give basically 6 parameters that across any time, across any country, across any region, where men have separated themselves from the pack. There's always going to have a money component to it. I don't want to get hung up on that point because it's the broadest measure.
Right.
And the things about high value, I don't really explicitly say because there's so many things implied. In order to earn a significant amount of money or a higher income than normal, you have to be hardworking, have discipline, structure. So all these things are kind of implied when I say it needs to be over a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. The biggest point about high value is find men that I don't look at athletes and entertainers. I look at men who are self-made high value. You're not born high value. You make yourself.
Right.
So those men can see a guy who's not there yet and say, you know what? I want to talk to you. I want to, they'll kind of pull you into their network because high value men recognize high value potential in other men.
Right.
So the quickest way to determine your gauge of value is look at the men around you.
Okay.
So if the men around you or the men that are drawn to you are not higher value, you got work to do. Sadly, so many guys want to put ourselves there, but the work actually shows the difference.
Okay.
And here's a good gauge. Write out some people in your area or some people that you know of who you would say are in a high value arena.
Okay.
And ask, am I on their level? Can we actually be in a room together?
Right.
Would they see me as a peer? Would they see me as I have peer potential? And kind of go from there.
Okay, very good. Andre Hatchett with the $15 super chat. I appreciate that very much. Again, guys, hit the like button, like, subscribe, comment, and share. I'd like to quickly remind you guys that we have some upcoming guests here at Studio B, including one that I just confirmed today. What is today? Today is Wednesday because bowling night was last night. We have C Boogie and Solo TV 84. They're going to be here this Saturday. We've got Hotep Jesus coming in here on Tuesday. That is going to be an unbelievable show. And Minister Jap. I just confirmed Minister Jap. Everything is booked. He is going to be here next Friday. So we have one hell of a lineup again. Saturday, Solo TV 84 and C Boogie. Tuesday is going to be Hotep Jesus. Then, of course, Minister Jap is going to be here on Friday. Then, of course, Coach Greg Adams on the 14th of November. So listen, man, we have an absolutely stacked lineup. Again, Kevin Samuels is in the building, guys. Again, dude, go to his channel, like, subscribe, comment, share. Kevin's channel. I remember a few weeks ago, you actually told me, well, you're going to be the first one of us to hit 100,000 subscribers, and just like that, you went right by me. A week later, I was like, Kevin, you were wrong. You're going to freaking do it. It was unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
We have another question. Says Kevin, I'm an 18-year-old black entrepreneur. I have 2 businesses in high school and working 35 hours a week. What is some advice you would give me in terms of time management and presentation of my character based on apparel? I usually wear jeans, a white tee, and Air Force Ones, but want to bump up my game a bit. For more information, he's 5'11", 160, 12% body fat. So he's in good shape.
All right. Jeans, T-shirt, and that's fine for casual. You don't want to be trying to walk around in a suit at 18 years old. That's overkill. I would go no further than a button-up. You know, I prefer a long, simple white shirts. Go to Suit Supply, $99 shirt, and get you some simple trousers. Simple trousers, black, gray, blue, and then just wear either boots, double monk strap shoes.
There you go.
And then you can even grab a sweater that looks like a jacket, so you don't have to feel like you're wearing a sports coat or a blazer. Because at 18 years old, you still need to have fun. You still need to be kind of youthful. You don't want to walk around trying to look like a 40-year-old man at 18. But the main thing is you want to focus on fit. Everything needs to fit. And then, when you wearing that jeans and T-shirt, get your nice little belt. Get your nice belt. A nice little Gucci belt does a lot at 18 years old. What you could do with a Gucci belt and a chain at 18 is incredible. So
maybe you'll mess around and have him on child support, man. You gotta quit giving that kind of advice. Robert Steele with the $5 super chat says, great show. Scott Aid just became a member. I greatly appreciate that. Let's go to the next question. This is sort of a multifaceted question, so this is kind of a rapid fire thing.
Okay.
Are hair parts considered professional? I don't know what a hair part is.
Hair part.
Oh, a part. Oh, that's what he's talking about. Okay.
It's risky.
Okay.
It's risky depending on how you do it. But in general, Robert Downey Jr. probably does it the best, but it's still kind of risky.
For me, I just do the line. I don't know if that guy's a black guy or a white guy, but it
depends on it. Like with us, it's a line. With them, the part, and it really it can, because you can go Joaquin Phoenix too, and it can look really crazy.
Oh my God, yeah, Joaquin Phoenix does look crazy. He's a hell of an actor, though. I'll tell you that.
Red Bull time.
Oh yeah. Let's restock up on the Red Bulls. The next question, it wants to know the best way to incorporate new ties and cufflinks into your style. That's interesting.
I don't do new ties. Here's what I do. Cufflinks are tricky too, because you need French collar shirts. Before I would do anything like that, I would understand my ultimate style personality. But if you're going to do it, simple is better. Get simple silver or gold, or mother of pearl.
Okay.
And then ties, you can even go back on my channel. You want to keep it simple, guys. Solids, maybe a polka dot pattern, or maybe hatchings. But I'm not a big fan of paisleys and colors and things like that.
Why not? Why not paisley? Is it trying too hard, maybe, or?
Well, because if unless your style personality leans prepster,
okay,
it doesn't work. Like on my channel, I have videos where I tried all different style personalities, and it doesn't work for me. This is my style personality.
Yeah,
it's European. It leans European. So even when and it's about a uniform. See, I believe dressing in a uniform thing. When you normally see me, I'm in a pinstripe suit or solids.
I've never seen you in. Listen, I firmly believe that you sleep and shower just like that. Like I can't imagine you in anything else, and that means you're doing it right?
It's because it's a uniform.
Right.
So Tom Ford, and even Einstein had the uniform theory. If something works for you, wear it.
Right.
All the time.
Right.
Why switch? If all black works for you, wear it. John Wick, Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
I'll be wearing my John Wick in the fall because that works for me.
Okay. All right.
And so less is more, guys. Less is more, especially as a man, because it's easier to maintain a solid masculine frame with solid colors, monochrome, and cufflinks and all that. You can easily go overboard with it too. So.
Absolutely. Devin says if only that worked for women too. Very, very cute. Ebler, $5 says paying my dues. Karn, $5. Real quick, somebody says that they noticed that I have a sleeve tattoo. I've had the sleeve tattoo for a while, but I got a little bit of it filled in today. So I do not have eczema. This is just the plastic on my tattoo. Karn with $5 super chat says, Kevin, what are your thoughts or advice on suspenders for bigger guys? That's an interesting question.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
I prefer 3-piece suits and vests.
Oh, okay.
Because suspenders, what they do is, you got to think of foundations. I mean, think of architecture. Suspenders work well on guys who have broad shoulders, narrow waist, or at least long rectangle.
Taper.
Yeah, but see, what you'll do with suspenders is they'll accentuate your belly.
Ooh, okay.
And then if your belly is hanging over your pants, because most guys wear their pants too low, you're wearing it under your belly versus at your natural waist. If you wear suspended your pants at your natural waist, your suspenders will be that long, and they won't look right.
Wow. Okay.
Look at President William H. Taft, and you'll see what a well-dressed big man looks like.
Wow. Okay. Very good. Theo Waff. Almost said Theo Wop. 47 years old, 6 foot, no kids, no debt, no alimony, 2 master's degree, happily RP and single, 10 years, over 25,000 monthly, salary over 4 years in corporate America. If I married or had a long-term relationship, what kind of woman would you recommend? Oh, wow.
Is he in corporate America, did he say?
He says corporate America, yeah. Listen, I could recommend one right off the bat. She's got to be at least half your age.
Yeah.
Go.
You know, see, at 47, if you're marrying at 47, you should already be in the power positions. You should be in the power moves in your career by this time. So I will look for a woman. You should be marrying for children, if anything. And if you're not marrying for children,
there you go.
It's going to be particularly hard because a woman that will kind of compliment you is going to have to bring an extensive network. You have to look at a woman's network and her utility to your move through the rest of your career. But younger women are going to be better.
Yeah, without a doubt. Younger women are, and the reason why we recommend younger women, because of course they're hotter, but another reason is younger women are not as jaded as older women, right? I think that this is what, I love it when older women try to sort of shame older men for dating younger women, like our girl did on Sunday night was an abject disaster. Younger women are just not, listen, man, younger women are just not as jaded. They haven't had as many sausages in them. They're not as jaded. Their attitudes tend to be much better. I mean, that's just for starters. Networking with like-minded men. What is your advice on that? And I'll actually go back. One thing that you said, and this was a very good answer in terms of how can a man determine his value? And never once did you say, well, the kind of women that are around him. And no, it's the kind of high value men that you command respect from. That is what determines your value. Yes. Women are just a perk. So would you tie that in with sort of networking with like-minded men?
Here's the thing with networking with men. I believe in networking with like-minded men, but you also need to seek rivals. You need to seek, Abraham Lincoln had what he called a cabinet of rivals.
Okay.
He took some of his most ardent political enemies and actually got them to work because your enemies know where you're weak at.
Yeah, right.
And friends tend to hide inconvenient weaknesses. But no matter what, when you're going to network, I look to give. I mean, how often do I call you and say, hey, Donovan, I got an idea for you?
Oh, all the time, dude. 2-3 times a week. Yeah.
Unsolicited. I'm like, hey, Donovan, I saw this. Give. Yes. And then if you need it, then ask.
Right.
Because, see, networking, it's backwards. It's like in boxing. If you want to move to the left in boxing, you push off on your right foot. You don't step out with your left because it opens your stance and leaves you open for a hit. Yes, I can fight very well. And networking is how can I bring utility to other high-value men, and by extension, I'll get mine, delayed gratification. And the thing is, human beings have a reciprocity process. Of
course.
You give something to somebody 3 times, they're going to want to give something back to you.
Yeah, it's human nature.
Yep. So there's an advantage to having like-minded people, but you do need somebody who can shoot you straight. I have people in my life that I respect enough to substitute their judgment for my own.
Wow. Really?
Yes, because driven men, ambitious men, we have addictive personalities, and when we want what we want, we get focused. And the more right I think I am, the more dangerous I am to myself. So if I say, hey Jay, one of my friends, his first name is Jay, here's a situation. I trust him enough to be able to, he knows me well enough. To know where I could possibly be blind at. And he'll say, well, what about this? And I'm like,
okay.
All right. And I don't, and especially if he says, this is what I think of it. I'm like, he's my gauntlet member.
Right.
He's not going to do me harm.
Right.
So I at least take it and I say, all right, process it. And that has saved me a lot and helped me immeasurably.
See, that's one of the many benefits of age, man. Because I don't listen. By the time I mean, you're only a few years older than I am, but by the time I get to your age, I can't see myself being as cool like under the collar as you are. I'm just a hot-headed guy. But another issue that I have is being able to relinquish control, trusting someone else's judgment. Devin comes to me with ideas all the time, and sometimes I'll just shush her away because I'm doing my thing. But every once in a while, introspectively, you know what? When she said XYZ, she was actually right. Now I'm man enough to be like, hey, listen, check this out. I shushed you away, but you were right about XYZ. And I think where a lot of men, including myself, could stand to learn a lot is understanding that you're not always going to have all the answers. Sometimes there are people who have your interest, your best interests at heart, probably a little bit better than even you do. Yep. And if you have a network of high value men that you trust, that's the number one thing. And I think that the benefits can be immeasurable, man. Oh, yes. I really do. Here's another question. How do you handle adversity as you move up as a brother? Woohoo! Oh boy, don't we know all about that?
Well, one, you can't take it personal.
Oh God, well, there's a strike for me.
You can't take it personal because, well, first off, let me back that up. A lot of times, let's say in corporate America, when I first started working around white people.
Okay.
I was told things that just weren't true. And different cultures, people have different ways of asking questions. People honestly sometimes just don't know.
Right.
I'm around people like me in my neighborhood and my family, such and so forth, and we do things this way. And sometimes people are just asking you questions for a different reason. You can't be so quick to judge. You can't really take it personal. And then when there is adversity, one, you need to understand, breathe.
Yes.
Breathe, yes. Think, then respond, because getting in your emotions, getting triggered is automatically going to play into archetypes that are already in our subconscious that you cannot overcome. You go against the archetype. And I prefer to go down the path of, I've learned to be correct instead of needing to be right. And I've learned what is in Batman? It's the slow knife.
Yes, right.
Instead of, because I have a bad, you've seen me get angry on my show.
Sure.
I've got a temper and I.
You do?
Yes.
Man, I'm going to tell you what, you do a very good job at hiding it, man.
But I've learned, it's cost me enough to where I've had to learn, all right, meter this back. Here's the thing. The higher up you go in anything, you're asking for problems. You want promotion, you're asking for more problems. You want to be a boss, you're asking to be in charge of 100 more people's problems. All you do is their problems. You're not going to be a boss of somebody to say, I'm a king now, do things. No, I'm working for you. Learning how to be, Gary Vee talks about a mixture of gratitude, empathy, and humility.
Yes.
And that's one of the biggest things that's helped me is trying to be empathetic, understanding where that's coming from. Now, true adversity is an opportunity as far as I'm concerned, because it's an opportunity for me to show my worth, to prove my work, and also to see where holes are in my game. Maybe I do need to get better at my paperwork.
Right.
Maybe I need to do this. All right, maybe I'm not as good at this. All right, well, and you just become better.
I had a certain dust up with a content creator who shall remain nameless. And I remember, man, before, and I was going to do a live video response, but you called me and you said, listen, if you're going to do this, you need to do this right. You said, don't go live. He says, because you know about your temper. He said, I'll never forget this as long as I live, man. He said, dude, you literally just told me, listen, got to breathe, jot out your thoughts. He said, I know you're angry. He says, keep a little bit of that anger, but you can't do it live. Do a recorded video. I did the recorded video. Not only did I thrive, because that was actually the beginning of my rapid ascent. And I think not playing into those archetypes, those stereotypical characteristics that we here in the Black Manosphere are known for, I think that if I had bought into that and started talking all crazy, then I probably wouldn't be here. So again, having a trusted confidant to sort of get in your ear and point out your weaknesses. Donovan, you're a hothead. You don't need to be a hothead. You need to cool off and get this done. And I think that probably saved me a lot of time and trouble and money.
But the only reason I could do that with you is I had to build up enough credibility with you.
Yes.
For you to trust me to tell you something.
Yep.
And that's that whole, hey, Donovan, I see this. Hey, Donovan, let me help you with this.
Right.
See, we all need people who can help us meter ourselves, become the best version of ourselves.
Of course.
And because especially if you didn't come from a solid father or whatever, there's a lot of us wanting to prove ourselves.
Yeah, right.
And, that's why it's this whole I don't beef thing. It's hard to do, but what I realized is the damage that I could do to myself because I have a sharp tongue.
Yes, you do.
A razor wit, and I have a long memory. I don't, and used for bad, it could just be really bad. And I'm like, well, life has this cyclical pattern that
right.
Just let it go, and eventually it'll work itself out. And I've had a lot of practices. I've been a bouncer. I've had people spit in my face. I've had all kind of crazy stuff happen. To where, here's the thing. If you ever did have to hear Kevin decided to go off on somebody and he did this or did that, people would be like, Jesus, what did they do?
Oh, okay. All right.
What did they do for him to go off? It must have been pretty bad.
Right.
And
well, whereas if Donovan goes off on someone, they're like, oh, well, Donovan did it again because Donovan loses his cool all the time. Jay All Day, $10 says too much truth being told not to drop cash on it. Appreciate that. Chuck with the $10 super chat. I swear to God, these people put their websites in their names. It says, great show, work over worlds. Red Sings the Blues says, because of Kevin, I started taking my dress game more seriously and upped the cologne game. What was the cologne that you gave me a sample of today?
Creed Aventus.
Man, God, that stuff smells good, dude. Makes me want to get with my own self. M307 with 5 pounds says, 37-year-old guy in UK, what do you do if you came from poverty and built a high-paying career, but your lifelong friends are still career criminals? Help them out, Kevin.
Okay. Well, if you're lifelong friends, you need more friends.
There you go.
Here's the thing. Don't have success guilt.
Right.
You can hang out with your friends and watch the local, whatever sports you guys watch.
Probably football.
Football.
Yep.
But you're going to still need to go have friends on the level to where you're at because you don't do your friends any favor. Excuse me. You don't do your friends any favors by trying to drag them up to where you are. They don't want that. Be friends with them, but here's something I had to learn in therapy. Detach with love.
Wow.
Hey, man, I love you. We grew up together. You are who you are. You're not going to change. When we sit around and watch the football game together and drink or whatever, that's great. But I got this over here. Because you got to ask yourself, let's say you had 3 boys, and you're trying to groom these boys into becoming the best versions of themselves and to take over your empire. Do you want them influenced by your buddies?
Right. There you go. There you go. Yeah, at some point you got to cut them off. Listen, professional athletes and entertainers go through this all the time, man. They come from humble beginnings. They come from the inner city. They're the ones that kept their head on straight. They made it out, but then they keep their hangers on, right? And those are the guys a lot of times that lead to their undoing.
Yes.
Antoine Walker, Allen Iverson right here in Philadelphia. It's hard to do because they're lifelong friends, but listen, man, being a man involves some very difficult decisions. I didn't think you were telling him to cut those guys off. He said, listen, man, get with those guys every once in a while, watch the football game, but you can't be up under them all the time, man.
That's right. There's a chapter in the 48 Laws of Power talking about, and I forgot the specific chapter, but when you actually move people up around you, promote people around you, they'll tend to turn on you because they feel entitled to your success.
Yes. Oh, my goodness, dude.
And look, you made it to a position and you do them better by giving them something to aim for And by not being around them all the time, they won't necessarily feel the pressure that you always put on them too. So enjoy the time you enjoy it, but go on. You can always go back home, but don't stay there.
All right. I haven't heard that before, but that makes sense. The Marfuki man, $20 says 2 Kings before us. Thank you guys for all you do. The Jimmy ZTT says kudos to both of you for getting me on the path to become a better man. Here's another question. And I've answered this before, but I want to get your take on this. He says, Kevin, how do you explain to other guys learning about the red pill, what it means to be a second choice, i.e. a backup plan, backup option, last resort for a woman, and why it's a bad thing for a guy to be a last choice? Also, what is the best way to identify if you are a red pill aware guy? Hey, Kevin, how do I get my woman to fix my plate? That's kind of weird, but okay.
Okay, so the first question is I lost the question.
That's okay. Learning about the red pill. He wants to know how you explain to other guys that whenever you're with a woman, you're probably her backup plan. You're probably her last choice. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because you're old.
Yep.
Because you're old. Because, I mean, unless you got her when you were in high school or in your early 20s, you are the backup. She's not a virgin. Somebody's already imprinted on her.
Yep.
And she probably could not get with the guy she wanted. And here's the thing, make peace with it. At best, you're going to get 80% of what you want. See, we have these unrealistic ideas about relationships. I have a campaign going on called My Next Ex-Wife. It's tongue-in-cheek.
That's great.
But it's tongue-in-cheek because it's like, all right, look, when I decide to get with another woman and get rid of my rotation and just do the thing you guys have, I'm going to make me a goddamn deal.
Right.
I'm going to make me a deal. I'm not trying to fall in love. No Harlequin romance. Look, this is what I need from a woman right now. And I'm not going to be her first choice either because she's as old as she is.
Right.
And I'm cool with it. See, human beings used to know how to make relationships work.
Right.
But now we need everything to work. And we need to be in love. Man, forget love. I just need respect.
There you go.
I need respect, and will you give me my insulin shot and change my diaper when I shit myself? That's all I need. And then if you do that, and especially if you're younger than me, you get access to everything I've made after my family and everybody else. You get a lot. You get a lot in this deal.
Right. Right.
Now the second part of his question was what?
The second part of this question is how to identify if you are a red pill or a man.
Can you accept the truth?
Yeah, there we go.
Can you deal with the truth and accept it for what it is? And that is really what the red pill is, in my opinion. Accepting the truth for what it is. 2 plus 2 is 4, no matter how you feel about it.
Excellent. Omega Legion with the $5 super chat says if people are going to hinder your growth, then cut them out from the root so it won't grow back. Kevin is smooth as ice and Donovan is hot as fire. It's funny. A lot of us guys are cut from the same cloth, but I think some of us are better at controlling themselves than others.
But you know what? Here's the thing. Careful about cutting people off.
Yeah, right.
Because there was a movie, Jack Nicholson, a line in the movie Hoffa.
Ah, that's a very good movie. That's a very good movie.
He said, Fitz was like, I'm in. Tell me, Jimmy, why? And then the Danny DeVito character, and then the Jack Nicholson character told Fitz the secret. And the Danny DeVito character said, why did you tell him? He said, when a guy is close to you, you can do a lot of things, but you can't slight him.
Right.
You know, an insult can be forgiven, a punch can be forgiven, hurt can be forgiven, but a slight, that motherfucker's going to hate you for the rest of his life. So you cut guys off, especially if you sin, they feel slighted. Yeah. But if you have, let's say, some hothead friends, well, that's some hothead shit you have to do. The mafia learned how to use the hitters or the people who do whatever. You can learn how to use. You need security. You need bouncer. You need. Tony Stark had what was the
Happy?
Dude?
Yeah.
And Happy was everybody put the badge on.
Yeah, that's
the badge on.
Oh yes.
And Happy was happy to be.
Ride or die, man. Wow, good point, man. Very good point. Buddy Safa says, great show, guys. Warren Creed event is for years. Girls approach me asking what it is. Oh, shit. I've had a few saying the smell made them want to rip my clothes off, and you just gave me a sample. I think I'm going to go and get a few bottles. What do you think about that, Dev? You want me to wear, you want girls approaching me asking me what it is that I'm wearing? She said, sure. She said, sure. Oh, that's right. We don't have a hot mic for Devin tonight. Might actually be a good thing. E-Blur, another $5 super chat, says, as an alpha who has a lot of attention already, should I get a woman on my arm for the company dinner, or do I look better alone? This is right up your alley.
You always look better with a hot woman on
Yes,
your arm.
sir. Yes, sir.
And we've had several shows on this, and men are judged by the women that they bring. Women are judged by the men they can keep.
Yes.
So if you have the smoking woman on your arm, that is completely alpha.
Listen, having a hot woman on your arm gains the respect of both men and women.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where hiring an escort is concerned. Mm-hmm. I remember, dude, there are so many things you've said that have just never left me. I remember there was one episode, it was actually the 6 at that point in time, where we are talking about 9s and 10s. And you're like, listen, man, I use 9s and 10s for everything but sex. Like, dude, I can get sex from 9s and 10s anytime I want. No, if I pay for a 9 or 10, I need that respect. I want that prestige. Because a hot woman who is in the company of a man automatically makes him high value in the eyes of other. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with her as a whole, but what people think, hey, if attractive women want to be around you, that attracts both men and women. Hey, how do you get attractive women like that? And women say, well, listen, what about him makes this woman want to be around him? Mm-hmm. It's always a business opportunity, man.
Always.
Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. I lost my place here. Okay. Oh, here's a very good question. This is good. It says, Kevin, can men and women be friends?
No. There's a move. Okay. And even at that, no. I mean, especially if they're attracted to, if you're attracted. But see, the thing is, why would you want to be friends with an ugly woman?
Right.
Look, man, you cannot, especially if you work for yourself, you control the kind of women that are around you. I don't have women around me that are unattractive and who are not feminine, beautiful, and inspirational. They can't be in my presence, because me personally, the way I'm set up, I love the company of beautiful women. Once I do what I'm doing with Donovan, I'm going to go spend time with a lot of beautiful women.
Damn right.
Because as a man, you got to pay to be around me.
That's right.
Beautiful women pay by being a muse. I'm inspired. Now that's my particular way of thinking.
Okay. So. Yeah, you got several. You sent me some pictures of some chicks out there in the NYC that you are waiting to make acquaintance with. Novi 2000 $7 says, I have a branding question for Kevin. I am in tech consulting. What does a black suit represent to you in business? That's a very good question.
In business, it's not appropriate.
It's not a black suit?
Well, because black suits are for, let's say, in business, I would look like the help. I would look like the driver or security.
God, see, I wouldn't even. Oh my God! Because guess what? They all wear black suits. Oh my God, this is incredible.
But because I'm in image, I can wear the black suit because it's appropriate for after 5. It looks like a tuxedo.
After what?
After 5.
So not at work.
Not at work.
Dude, this is unbelievable.
That's why when you asked me about a suit, I said gray.
Right.
Charcoal gray, because now the reason I wear black is because it's my particular style, personality, and it's my uniform.
Right.
But when I'm out and about at the mall or the stores, you look around and security's in black and white, and it tends to be a lot of this. The reps used to be in black and white too, but the difference is my suit is custom, so they can little bitty style effects like
right.
So black suits imply formality.
Wow. And no one would ever mistake you for the help.
Well, but people do mistake me, often ask me questions. Like when I'm out and about, we naturally think men in suits own stuff. So if somebody's in the mall, excuse me, where's so-and-so? Can you help me here? It doesn't even have to be me. It's just like, well, really? So that's what black signifies in business.
Very good. See, I didn't even know that. I had no idea. And it's funny, like when you point certain things out, it's like in my mind, I know that the driver and the waiter and the help
Especially
are always
in Vegas. You have to see.
They're all in black, and it never occurred to me why the bosses never wore black. And now I know all these years later. Wow. Mm-hmm. You learn something every day. 1,722 people watching. Let us hit that like button. Let's go to the next question. It says, Kevin, If the only thing I truly fear about elevating my life is family divorce court because I can lose half of what I built on the whims of a woman, does that mean I'll never be truly high value? In other words, will I never be high value unless I can afford to get divorced and be okay with it? Thank you, Godfather. Man, what a question. So he's asking you, am I only high value if I can afford a divorce? That's very sobering. It's a sobering reminder of today's court system. Jesus.
I understand the question, but it implies a scarcity.
Yes.
It implies a scarcity. And I'm going to give you somebody. Jeff Bezos.
Oh, God.
Jeff Bezos has lost more money than you and I ever gained. And he didn't bitch about it once. Unless we didn't know about it. And then, but he came along and CV happened and he doubled his money. High value men are high value because even if you lose half of it, you can go make 10 times more. That's the beautiful thing about being a high value man. So women don't tend to really divorce high value men as readily. The divorce rate in the lower class, lower middle class and upper lower class, okay, is 70%. The divorce rate in the upper middle class and lower upper class is 20%.
Okay.
Because women tend to stick around for more than money. High value men have network.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things, if you want to, if anything, cult leaders or Charles Manson controlled women by understanding female psychology, right, and their need to be with a group. So that's why group and network is so important. So if you have the resources, the network, and all these other kind of things, you have many more ways to keep her. She's going to be more concerned about you. Becoming the first wives club. That's what she's going to be more concerned about.
Listen, truer words never spoken. Money doesn't make you high value. The ability to acquire resources, which includes money. If someone were to snap their fingers, Donovan Sharpe loses everything. Guys say all the time, well, you've been with Devin long enough to where if she leaves you, she'd get half your shit. No, she wouldn't. But let's just say that she were. Let's just say that she were to take me for everything I had. In 3 years, I'd have it all back.
Yep.
Right? Like, that's just how it goes. And that's why I can be a little bit more risk tolerant, because that's the abundance mindset, right? Like, this is why guys can go holler at hot girls, because he knows that there are other hot girls to holler at. I'm not going to hang on. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to be smart with my money, but I'm not going to live in constant fear that if Devin decides, oh my God, what if she takes, listen, if she gets, fine. It's not like I'm not going to be able to do this. It's not like I'm not going to be able to make the money back. It's just money, and I have the wherewithal to acquire it.
Well, and that's when you really truly step into that high value realm.
There you go.
Because you are one of the big guys are like, well, shouldn't be about money because you can lose it. I don't care. I'm gonna make it again.
Right.
That's why I said part of being high value is being a freaking failure.
Right.
If you haven't failed, you're not high value. You have to fail, take action, change, and have some time in it. And the thing is, you can do it over and over again. So things will always come to guys who are working.
Good stuff, man. Big thanks goes out to Novi 2000 with a $5 super chat. Says, to follow up with the black suit question, I am in tech security and work with government. So I want to play on the typical security image. So there you go.
There you go.
All right, cool. That he answered his own question there. Okay. Oh boy, here's another one. Says, Kevin, why is it that most men fear loss or losing? Nature teaches it, and some of the things these men participate in, social media, games, movies, etc., always show that loss or losing is a part of the package in life, more so in moving upwards. So why is it that most men fear losing when, just like you said, in order to really be a high-value man, you've got to be able to fail?
All right, let me go back to the previous question for Nobi. Get custom-made black suits.
Okay.
Don't get two buttons, get a single button, and get little style effects on the buttonholes and things like that to set you apart from security.
Okay.
Why do many guys fear loss and losing? Because we've taken competition out. You guys don't compete.
Yes.
When we were growing up, we played kickball,
That's right.
Kickball, baseball.
Wall ball, didn't matter.
Kill the man with the ball.
That's right.
We monkey bars. We were always testing who's fastest, who's this. You had to lose a lot. Right. So you guys you can't do boy stuff anymore. This is why I think it's so important for guys to get martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
martial arts, you have to make yourself proficient at something, and it takes a lot of losing.
That's right.
See, you fear what you don't understand. And I remember there was a guy, he was a naturally gifted guy. His name was Jason. I wouldn't fight the white belts. I wanted to fight the guys who were really good. So I'd fight Jason. He was hitting me like 15 times
God
to 1.
damn.
And I would hit, and he was hitting. He was just pow, 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 15 to 1. And I mean, it was like, and I said, all right. But every time I lost, I learned something. And eventually it got down to 13 to 1, 11 to 1. Then it got down 9 to 1. But when it got down around 7 to 1, I started noticing Jason moving a little different. Because guess what? I built up a tolerance to his shots. So, like Joe Frazier would take Ali's punches to deliver that left look.
Yes.
And he's like, and then he delivered that left look, and he took Ali's legs. And I told Jason, I was like, you think you've been embarrassing me? I've been learning you. And when I got down to about 3 to 1, we stopped fighting because he realized, like, all right, this hurts too much.
It's about to catch me.
Well, and the thing is, my chin got stronger.
Mm-hmm.
My stamina was better. I learned what I could do and what I could not do. And that's really what it comes down to. Guys, you have to have a tolerance of loss. So what in your life do you lose at other than a video game?
So Oki MGTOW with the $2 super chat says, please turn up KS's mic, same issue on Pop's vid. You want to know something? I think the reason why people think that there's a volume problem is because I'm loud. I'm always like, I have very large lungs, and I think when I come across, I think it's drowning everyone out. So if I'll tell you what, you can actually stay where you are. If you pull the mic out and just put it right here in front of you, and see, Kevin.
Well, I could go into my drum major voice if you like.
Well, the thing is I noticed you are far away from your mic on your show, so you're comfortable with being far from the mic. Me, I got to be heard. I like to eat the mic, so hopefully this will do it. And listen, on post production, I can fix all of this. I'm not really. There you go. Devin just told, Devin just, she's my level a little bit lower. Yeah, otherwise I'm trying to, I don't know. I've tried to train myself out of it. I watched you a lot. I'm like, okay, I'm going to speak softly like Kevin Samuels, and it lasts for about 30 seconds, and then I go back to being me. So there we go. Okay, so hopefully that will solve the problem there. Omega Legion with the $2 super chat says, failure breeds success, but quitting makes you one. Damn.
Yes.
Karn, $5 says, Kevin, I'm currently working on losing a lot of weight. Should I get a cheaper rack suit or get a tailor suit and taper it down as I shrink? I didn't know that you could adjust suits like that.
You can adjust suits only so much.
Okay.
Here's the thing: you have to adjust the body you have, not the body you want. So, if you know beyond a shadow of a doubt you've invested in a trainer and you know you're going to be losing target weight, then yes, go ahead and go to Suit Supply. They have a wide variety of suiting for great value. And then when you hit your target weight, you have an incentive to go get your suits made custom, Suit Supply or wherever else, and then and keep those that way. So you can only adjust a suit maybe a size and a half. And outside of that, the work that it would take to readjust a suit, they might as well make a new one.
Okay, good. I didn't know that you could do that. I mean, even if only a little bit, that's, man, I'll tell you what, dude. I learn something every time I have you on the show. This is a good question. It says, Mr. Samuels, what do you think about the rational male Rollo Tomasi? And in your opinion, is Rollo Tomasi a high value man?
I don't know I don't know Rollo personally. I would say beyond a shadow of doubt, he is an extremely useful man. But I don't know his income and things like that. But see, guys, this high value thing
here we go.
I think it's a 10% of guys fall into this category, and most guys don't want to be in it. See, the network component is a thing that tends to be something my introverts really kind of shy away from, because, or even my Sigma males.
Right.
It does not make you a lesser man. You can be extremely successful and not be highly useful to people.
Right.
So that's why I've started talking about increasing your value instead of high value. High value is a static concept.
Yes.
And increasing is something every guy can do. It's evergreens.
All the time. No, I agree. That's very, very dynamic. Rollo Tomasi, for those of you guys who don't know, is widely considered to be the godfather of the Manosphere, and for very good reason. And I'll just put it to you this way, for those of you guys who are not familiar with him, the way Rollo Tomasi describes and breaks down intersexual dynamics between men and women is exactly the way you get these broads to literally undress themselves on the air. He's that good. I'm telling you, he really, really is. Here's another question. Godfather, if I am single at 49, never married, no kids, should I be dating up a storm or vetting 1 to 3 women for short-term relationships to long-term relationships? What this is telling me, Kevin, and this is so funny, men are dogs, all they want is the booty. Nah, man, like that's a phase we go through. There was a time I was running through hoes left and right. But all men, regardless of status, would gladly tell you that being in a relationship with a woman who is useful to you, attractive, feminine, and all the rest of that beats a life of being a player all day, every day. Being a player is a great time, but there's, oh my God, STD test. Is she pregnant? Did I use a rubber? Is her boyfriend going to find out? It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of craziness, man.
Especially today, man. I mean, look, anybody who's had lots of women will tell you it's far better to deal with fewer women or one.
Yes.
I mean, there's a belief, and I understand if guys have never done it before, so it may sound like, well, I want to have a different experience, different this, different that. Guys, trust me, it'll run its course. And at 49, I will tell you the things I wanted at 49 is far different than the things I wanted at 25.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so I would say go for quality instead of quantity.
I agree. No, that I agree with. Ken Rose says, hi, Kevin. How do you maintain your full head of hair at the age of 51, for whatever? P.S. Time is more valuable than money. So how do you mean? I think that's genetics, right?
Genetics, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you're genetically predisposed to early male pattern baldness, then that's what. Listen, my father has a head full of hair. He's 61, or he's 58. My dad has a head full of hair, and he's.
But there are things that you can do. I mean, I know people laugh, but men are getting these hair transplants. They're getting these man weaves.
Yeah, man.
The microfiber things that people spray in their hair. There's all kind of things that guys do.
Oh, yeah.
It just depends upon your tolerance for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What was the second part?
He says time is more valuable than money.
Yeah, time with high value men understand time is more important. I just did an Instagram live about that.
Yes. Listen, the more money, this is weird, man, and this is really weird, because I was having a discussion with this with John of Modern Life Dating. I remember back when I was like in my 20s, if I could make $500,000 one time, I would just not do anything for 10 years. I'd be set for life. But like now that I'm 43, the more money I make, the more money I want to make. Like I can't imagine not making the amount of money that I'm currently making. That's why I work until I'm dead.
But there's one thing that's also down.
What's that?
You love what you're doing, so the money's there.
Yeah, right, man.
Now, if you were peeling potatoes, I guarantee you would not be wanting to do this shit.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you're probably right about that.
Peeling potatoes, but I only got 2 more years of peeling potatoes, and I'm out of here, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with I probably wouldn't make as much money peeling potatoes as you do doing.
You get fulfillment out of this.
Oh,
I mean, it's like, I can do my show, and I can make a studio, and it's bigger. This is like your Tony Stark suit of armor. What is it? The Mach 19 version?
Yeah, the Mark 7, whatever it is. Right. Yeah, I love doing this stuff. Like I don't know, man, like something about building studios and creating better content. It's something I'm addicted to, man. I've already like Dev and I are moving to Nevada next summer. I already have my next studio in my head.
Well, successful men, high value men have addictive. Grant Cardone will tell you he used to be a drug addict.
Yes.
We have addictive personalities, and the trick is turning it to something good. Because if not, we destroy ourselves.
Yeah, man.
This is why high-value men are failures, because we try lots of things. But you succeed because you try stuff you're willing to fail to get better.
I have lied. Listen, I have lied to my audience so many times. this is the last studio. Okay, no, wait a minute. This is the last one. Nope, guys, I swear to God, I'm not doing any. I can't stop. I can't help myself. I don't know if the Nevada studio is going to be the last one. I don't know. I can't make those promises anymore.
I foresee a mobile studio.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, like that's
Donovan Sharpe, mobile studio or remote. The new, remember they used to do radio remotes from different places?
Yeah.
Donovan Sharpe from the Pittsburgh Steelers game. Donovan Sharpe from the so-and-so. Yeah.
Dude, I could see outfitting like, see, there we go. Already.
Donovan Sharpe
see, there we
NASCAR.
go. There we go. I'm telling you, man. Dude, I would love to be, oh my God, that would be awesome. To like outfit like a, what are those, the Amazon delivery vans that are all, like I could outfit one of those bad boys, do a mobile studio. Man, see, there you go. Give me ideas, man.
It's a because they already exist now. They're called pop-up stores.
Yeah.
Convert one of those vans to a pop-up studio.
Dude, that's oh my God. What I'll do is I'll contract Joker to do that out because he's building the bus right now to go cross country. So I might reach out to him.
That would be incredible.
God, that would be crazy. Dude, I might look into doing that, man. I mean, I'm still relatively young, right? I think that'd be fun.
You guys could go. Next is because that used to be. We grew up when the '70s was about road trips.
Yeah, dude. Yes, hit the road. Go out.
Get into Winnebago, and so that's in our blood. And you still have not gone international.
No, dude.
Donovan Sharpe in Berlin.
Donovan Sharpe in Ukraine.
There you go.
I think that'd be that would actually be a lot of fun doing like a world tour. Nonstop Dre 360 with the $2 super chat says, how many suits would you recommend a man having?
3.
Okay.
3. Charcoal gray, navy blue, and then I prefer you to have a black, but if not a black, a different gray, maybe a pinstripe or window pane, something that has a slight pattern to it.
Okay.
But black, gray, and blue tend to be a complete wardrobe.
Okay. Frank DF, $7 says, join the show late. Did you guys already debate the pros and cons for marriage for the modern man? I think he might have been the person that asked that first question about marriage for regular guys as opposed to high value guys.
Right.
So he wants to know, so I guess let's talk about it. What are some of the pros and the cons for marriage for modern men?
Well, I made a video a while back, is there a case for marriage today? And the biggest thing is if you want to have children, the numbers are in. The best chance you have for raising a happy, healthy, functional kid is in the context of a marriage inside of it. But you want to be able to control the variables. I mean,
right.
Unless if you're not committed to living on your income and living at your means, then you inject modern into it. See, far too many of us are trying to live modern, living at making $50,000 a year, but you want a $300,000 home. No, you get an $80,000. You live where you can live,
right?
Because if your wife is going out into work, it provides all kind of potential issues, and we cannot change the culture.
Dude. Nope,
we cannot change the culture, and we are more connected today than ever. So. It's a risk, brother, and that's what actually we should take the word marriage out and just call it a risk.
Yeah.
That's what it really comes down to, and it's not going to change.
No,
it's not going to change. So you guys, I would say, gotta understand what you're wanting to get. This is why I'm so big on improving your value, because we don't look at relationship the way women do.
Yeah, that's true.
But she needs to be on your page. We can have an entire video.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's a whole, that could actually be a series. I think you earlier you said men really shouldn't be thinking about marriage unless, of course, you want to have children. That's risky in America. I get this question all the time. Donovan, I want to have kids. How should I do it? There's a couple of ways to do it, and it's going to be roundabout, but this is what's necessary. Have a surrogate mother, right? Hire a woman to, inject somebody else's egg into her womb and your sperm and then have the baby like that. She relinquishes all parental rights. Or you go overseas. But you can't go overseas and bring a woman back to America because America will destroy that woman and you'll be right back to square one.
That's it.
That's how it works. It sucks, but that's the way it is. Mr. Samuels, what is the male equivalent to the wall? Age, low income, wealth, and unhealthy weight could be contributing factors, but what are some factors in both of you guys' opinions? Is there a male wall? Because Hugh Hefner was banging 20-something-year-old blonde.
I think a man's wall has a lot to do with his income/productivity.
Okay.
Because if you're a man and you are under earning, let's say I've run into guys who are in their 40s making like, $32,000 a year. That's
God.
a wall. I mean, they are, $35,000 a year. That's what he was making.
Right.
They're living, but you can't really do anything into that.
Right.
And you're past the age of anybody giving you a break. You are who you are at that point.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can go back to, how pathetic would it be? Hey, Donovan, I'm 40 years old, but I'm going to go to college.
Good luck with that.
And what are you going to go to school for? Marketing, communicating, like
For real? Like, what are you going to do with that?
so. A man's productivity in his income resources are his wall because it's a limiting factor, and we'd be foolish to say now weight and all those kind of things. Resources can overcome weight.
I agree. I don't know that there is a male equivalent to the wall. Now, I agree with you in that a man will reach some point where the world will stop giving him breaks. We don't catch a lot of breaks as it is, but the breaks that we do get, we need to take advantage of them. If you don't, you're going to run out of it. You got to make yourself.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe I'm an outlier to this particular situation. I was 32 years old, okay? I had no money. I'm 187 pounds. I got a nickel a day coke habit. I'm shooting morphine. I'm snorting pills. I'm chasing after this 19-year-old girl whose baby daddy had just got out of prison for impregnating her at 13 years old, right? Pining over this girl, living in a quasi crack house, not a penny to my name, right? I'm 32, Kevin, and now look at me, right? So I think the difference, I don't think like there is definitely a wall for men. The difference is we can recover from the effects of the wall. Don't get me wrong. The later in life you get, the more difficult it becomes to recover. But men are still, we have the ability to recover and even thrive despite having hit the wall. When women hit the wall, there's no coming back from that. When men hit the wall, okay, we can sort of bounce off of it and be better. Dude, I'm a lot better off now at 43 than I ever was at 33. I mean, even though at 33 years old, I was living in Vegas. I didn't have anything. I didn't have any money. I was just sort of starting out in the game. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, like the video I made about facts about high value. You can be
Right.
homeless and in 7 years be high value.
There you go.
What the wall for men in this context is when a man quits. When you quit,
There you go.
give up, and you resigned yourself to nothing can ever get any better, then effectively you won't be able to do the things that you would have to do to come back from where you were, or any countless other man who's been here and is now here. And that's what we love so much about being a man. See, I would prefer to be a man than a woman because we can always change our situation.
Right. We sure can. We sure can.
We're not born into the fertility and the looks thing. So
women, how can I put this? Women have very few ways to change their situation. Very, very few ways. The ways that don't involve hitching their wagon to a high value man are very, very difficult for them, right? So women have one main way to change their situation, and that is to find a man. Men, we can change our situation in a million different ways.
And for the women, it would be far more beneficial to women if they just go ahead and accept that reality. On my channel, I ask, in a state of nature, where can the female survive in the wild without the male?
Yeah, that's nowhere, Kevin. That's nowhere. The Marfuki Man, $5 super chat says, Mr. Samuels, can I build you a piece of furniture as a gift as well? I want to use my skills for gifts to the kings of the Manosphere. Yeah, he is building a custom coffee table for Studio B. So I guess, yeah.
I'm getting my P.O. box and my mailing address.
Okay, good. Excellent. Yeah, I'll shoot you his email address, and I can put you in contact with him. Chris Hollow, $5 says, a man should have 3 suits, one for work/court, a tux for a wedding, a suit for the weekend/club as a fashion designer, and this seems to be the standard. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, same purpose.
Okay. Okay, very good. Ed Lattimore, $15, says, big fan of Kevin. He's got me adding on fragrances to my game, just showing love. Dude, you're stepping up. The world smells better because of Kevin Samuels. I think that much is true. Here's another question. Says, Kevin, for those of us working corporate jobs, what are the benefits of being married versus single, and how can you use being married to your advantage? Thanks. Can't wait for this one-on-one. That is an excellent question.
The advantage of being married is you actually – there is a ceiling on bachelor men.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
There's a marriage ceiling. That's why if you look at middle management, if you're not planning on going into middle, upper, or executive management, then marriage is not something that's going to greatly benefit you in corporate America. But let's say you're planning on going into at least regional, middle, upper, or executive management. Your wife can help you with other executives' wives.
That's
at
right.
the company parties, at the functions. Right. There's a lot of stuff that single men don't do. You don't get invited to the boss's house for dinner.
That's right.
Because you're coming without anybody. You don't get invited to, the ski to play golf while the wives are at the country
tennis.
club.
Yeah.
Tennis.
Yeah.
Again, and women also, being married also bestows a level of status, responsibility, consistency on men. Plus, they think they can trust you around their wives because they know you're all doing the same thing.
Yes.
Look, these guys don't want to have a single guy around their wives
or daughters. Kevin,
right?
So, like, a lot of these executives are in their 50s and 60s.
Right.
And even if they're in their 30s or maybe in their 40s, guess what? They got 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old daughters who are going to be attracted to men of means. Like, that's just not a good look.
Single men are effectively locked out of upper management.
Wow.
It is better to have, and this is just a very hard reality. And I know people say, well, the modern economy, things have changed. Look.
It's human nature, dude. That's what it is.
It's what it is. And there's psychologically, it is the rare man that gets past age 35 that continues to communicate a level of maturity and development and that kind of stuff. So there are many things. So.
Listen, man, what it comes down to is this. I think what all of that you just said is correct. Here's another thing. Married men don't want single men around their wives, especially if they're red-pilled. Well, if he's an alpha male, he shouldn't have to worry about it. No, if he's an alpha male, he understands this. Listen, I say this all the time, man. What these disingenuous men have to understand is that my woman, Devin, if she knew she could cheat on me and get away with it, she would do it in a New York minute. Of course she was. Stop it. A woman, of course, that's the right answer. A woman, how can I put this? A woman who loves you, I'm trying to think of a way that a woman who really, truly loves you, people say, well, if she loves you, she won't cheat on you. Wrong answer. If she loves you, she will never put herself in position to cheat, right? A woman will never put her, if your woman wants to go to the club, then she's ready to cheat on you. Mm-hmm. If she wants to go to a concert with friends, she's ready to cheat on you because she is knowingly putting herself and the relationship at risk.
She's removing the discipline.
There you go. And you said that at the top of the show, man. Mm-hmm. You said that at the top of the show. And a woman who truly loves a man will allow that man to save her from herself. No social media, no bars or clubs, no traveling alone. Well, then I guess you're just not ready for a relationship or you're just not ready to relinquish control.
The discipline.
There you go. And again, you ladies out here say, well, I don't need a man. Okay, that's fine. If you, more power to you. You just need to understand that at some point, you're going to have to realize that you can't be trusted to your own devices. Women need men to protect them from the dangers of the world and all kinds of other kind of stuff. Most of all, women need men to protect them from themselves. Because when women are in sole control of anything, their children, themselves, the dating market, it is a complete shit show. That's what it comes down to.
Dude, I would love for us to sit down and if we could take season 2 of Bear Grylls, The Island.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
And they had men on one island and women on the other island. And it was dude, I don't even want to spoil it for our audience.
Is it predictably predictable?
Well, on the first day, men had already found base camp and they were putting up. On the first day, women had gotten lost.
Oh my God.
They were running out of water.
Probably fighting.
By the end of the show, women hadn't elected a leader. They're trying to do everything by a democratic process. And it's like, it just shows the difference between men and women, because you're just dropped on a deserted island alone. I firmly believe that show had to plant food and things like that around the women, because they were going to die. They got rid of one of the only things that they could use to make water. I mean, to make fresh water, because they chose to store meat in it and it smelled bad. They saw a
Oh my
pig.
God.
They saw a pig, and they didn't want to kill the pig. And they named the pig Oinky or something. I'm like,
you don't name. You give it a name. You give it a soul, right?
dude, I just say watch Bear Grylls season 2 of The Island. Just watch the first 3 or 4 episodes, and you're like,
that's it.
This is golden.
That's the red pill. Big Brandon says, I'm going to need to spar with Kevin Samuels, both in the ring and in life. We'll call it fists and facts. Hard lessons at all angles. Hashtag respect. Hashtag Club TSR. Brandon, his son has all sorts of trophy. Like, I don't know how old his kid is, but I'm pretty sure his son could probably whoop my ass. Like, this kid has all sorts of trophies. He emailed me a picture of all of his son's trophies and medals. I was like, holy shit, man, I might need to hire this kid for security. AJ Taylor, $5 says, men think that, quote, options refer to only women. In reality, he says, your options can be the various things you have going on in your life. Love the show, Don. Very astute observation. Brian Burton, $5, says, listening during my workout, keep doing the Lord's work. T-Boz says, peace. Can you talk about the proper way in order to increase, the proper way to network in order to increase one's value? I guess he's looking for advice for himself. Left Eye and Chili is T-Boz. Wow. He probably doesn't even realize who T-Boz is.
Right. The question's misplaced.
Oh.
Okay. Again, this one I say. You don't network to increase your value. You network to increase the value of other people.
Ooh.
Your value increases as a result.
Okay.
See, when you go into it with, have you ever asked yourself, why did Kevin call me? And this guy calls me from time to time, and he's always telling me stuff.
I never questioned. I'm just glad that you do.
but see, because I saw potential.
Sure.
When I talk with Minister Jap, he's like, I used to wonder, and even it's like, you always pay it forward,
right?
Because when you're networking to help someone with what you have to understand you're going to get it back,
right?
But if you're only doing it one for one,
right?
One for one,
yeah.
If you stop getting your one back, you'll stop giving.
You'll start giving it, right?
You'll stop giving, and then you'll start going into other interactions, waiting for people to give before you give. And the energy's all wrong. And I hate to get into the hokey pokey.
Yeah, but that stuff's relevant,
but it's
though,
real.
right?
It's all like, look, man, there is a flow through life, and I'm all about good faith.
Right.
Interactions into good faith. So when I network, when I was in sales, there was a guy named Greg. Greg was the hardest fucking worker I knew. Greg would never close any big accounts because he didn't have the patience. He would go in and he had no funnel. But this guy was the hardest worker. He would go in and he would sell a new account every day from nothing. He would make it happen from nothing. Me, I'm much more methodical. I'm much more calculated.
Yep.
I'm much more calculated.
Okay.
I'm much more methodical. I'm much more calculated.
Okay.
And then what I ended up doing is I ended up getting 80% of my sales number from networking. But Greg was having to go out. If Greg took off, his numbers dipped. I could sit in the office and somebody would phone call, hey, Kevin, I was out at so-and-so and I gave them your number and that told them about you and they're ready to go.
Bingo. There you go. There you go.
It's networking. My success came from my network. So how did I get my success from my network? I found out about the people who I did business with. And I said, I know a great dentist, a great mechanic, a great this, and a great that.
How about that?
I started promoting people, and I became a connector.
Right.
See, that's really what I want to ultimately do. Watch a Netflix special called The Black Godfather. Ultimately, I want to be a connector behind the scene. I don't want to be the guy in front on the microphone. This is a moment in time in the vehicle, but I want to connect people and put people in place and help orchestrate things.
It's interesting. I didn't realize that this is what I was doing with this one-on-one with Donovan Sharpe, and I think subconsciously I was, but I didn't really admit it to myself. Here's the truth, Kevin, and I guess I had to have somebody sort of paint the picture. I'm putting on an event late spring, early summer of 2021. It's going to be in Las Vegas. It's going to be fucking epic. I've got Hotep Jesus coming in here on Tuesday. He is already committed to the event, okay? When I flew out Myron Gaines, Terrence Popp, who else was out here? Who were the two guys? Steve the Dean Williams and Lucario, all those guys. I flew you out first class, both ways, right? I put you up in a king suite. I'm flying out Minister Jap, first class, king suite, right? I guess the reason I did that is because you guys are my friends, and I think you guys deserve that kind of treatment. But I guess on the back end, I'm thinking, okay, if I show these guys that I'm willing to put forth the money and the effort, put you guys up in nice digs, do things professionally, you guys will then trust me. Well, hell, if he's this professional, if he's this buttoned up in the small scale operation, what's it going to be like in the spring/summer of 2021? Yeah, sign me up. There's another content creator who I happen to, I love and respect this guy. And he puts on different events, but he doesn't pay anybody speaking fees. What he does is and this isn't a bad thing. I understand the strategy on his part, but he says, look, I'll give you XYZ commission on the number of tickets that you sell, right? That's a good strategy to motivate people to sell tickets, but your speakers should not be responsible for the sale of tickets. Your speakers should be focused on their speech. So when I have guys come out to my event, again, I'm going to fly out first class round trip. I'm going to put you up in first class accommodation, and I'm going to give you a speaking fee. That shows me that I respect your time. If you're going to give up 3 to 4 days of your time, I'm going to make sure that you're compensated for it.
Right.
Not because I want something on the back end, but as a man, it just seems like the right thing to do. Am I wrong?
No, it's good business because behind the scenes, some of the things I used to say, Donovan, come on, brother, get it up there.
That's one thing you always got me on, man.
Because here's the thing. When you do things, when you have a certain standard, you set the bar, you clear out the bullshit,
right?
Fuck boys and pretenders.
That's right.
If you're not willing to put your money up, here's the reason you're willing to put your money up. Because you're willing to fucking do the work.
Yes, that's right.
You're willing to do the work. Okay, if I spend X dollars to get somebody out here for a couple of hours, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use it to my advantage, and it's going to give me return, short-term, long-term, evergreen. And I'm also putting my standards saying dealing with Donovan is dealing with something at a professional level.
That's right.
It's good fucking business. That's why I tell guys, stop being so goddamn cheap and everything.
Right.
If you have an abundance mentality, and this is that we start talking about losing money in divorces. Stop being afraid to invest and spend money because it will come back if you're willing to do the work.
Right. Doing the work, to me, it's the most important thing. Mm-hmm. You have to listen, man. Like, I don't know the kind of money we make. Is it white collar? I don't know, but you have to have a blue collar mindset, man. Mark Cuban said this the best, and I'm sure other people have said it, but guys like you and me, entrepreneurs, we're the only people in the world who work 80 hours a week so that we don't have to work 40 hours a week.
Yep.
And that's what it comes down to. I'm putting in 84 to 96 hours a week. I say this all the time. Devin's got to come and drag my ass out of the studio every day. Hey, get out of there before you freaking have a heart attack and die of stroke or whatever. But that's just kind of the way I'm made. And if I'm going to put my name on something, if I'm going to ask someone else to vouch for me by being in my then dude, you have to make sure that you treat them well. And listen, most content creators will say, hey, man, I got a show. You want to do a show? All right, I'll set up my camera, whatever the case may be. Okay, that's all well and good. But, Kevin, I haven't been turned down by anybody. I had Devin reach out to Hotep Jesus. The dude texted me and said, let's do this thing. I was shocked. But now I understand why I haven't been turned down. I recently reached out to Jason Whitlock. This guy used to be on Fox Sports 1. Maybe he reaches out, maybe he doesn't, but I know this. He'll consider the offer, right?
Right.
This is what men have to do, especially black men. Black men don't want to pay nothing. Black men don't want to invest anything. They expect, well, I'm black, you're black, you can come. No. I'm not going to pay you any less because we have the same skin tone. I'm going to show you that I respect your work ethic, and your time by making it worth your while to give up a day and a half, 2-3 days to come out here and run your mouth in my tiny little studio for 2 hours.
I forget the law, but 48 Laws of Power, despise the free lunch, pay full price for everything.
Yes.
Because when you pay full price, you can demand the best.
That's right.
And see, let's say when you have your event next year, if you decide, let's say the going rate for things like that was $500. Let's say you decide to charge $2,000.
Yeah.
A person saying, well, why would I pay $2,000 for something that's normally $500? Well, I've heard that Donovan actually flies people. Well, he pays people.
Yes.
So they're like, well, he's paying some of my favorite people. Oh, yeah, well, it's worth it.
Yes.
There's a reason that there's a Motel 6 and what's the most Bellagio.
Yes, there you go. There it is. That's all right.
Both of them have, showers and beds.
Toilets, yep. Motel 6 Bellagio. I like that. That's very good. Jay Flugens, $15, says, loving the show. Question for Kevin. Can a woman in the danger zone, I have no idea what that is.
27 to 35 years old.
Oh, okay. So can a woman in the danger zone with a high body count still pair bond with a high value man?
That's a...
listen, it's possible.
Yeah.
It would be very difficult.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, 27 to 35 bonding with a high value man is a problem. The body count, yeah. I mean, look, man, you start looking at women, the older women get in general, the more accomplished they get, the higher their hypergamy goes.
That's right.
The more they start feeling like they're entitled to you versus lucky to get you. So I think that's a bigger issue than there. So I think you kind of mix the question, but I get the point.
Gotcha. Funky Jamma. Jesus Christ. Loving the show. Kevin Samuels is a little hard to hear when he faces away from the mic. Could you? Oh, Jesus Christ. You guys are killing me. Relax. It's because I'm loud and Kevin is very soft-spoken. Listen, I'm a loud dude. I'm just loud and I drown everybody out. WPR1, $50 says, Donovan and Kevin, thank you so much. I got your back for all the haters to come. Appreciate that. Mr. High Profile, $20 says, my guy Jap put me onto you too. I'm a Patreon of you both, and thanks to Kevin, I recently got Christian Dior Sauvage Parfum and YSL Nanuit Parfum. Hope I said that right.
Yeah.
Ladies love them. Creed Aventus is next. The value you give is on point. I have, oh boy, this is bad. I had the Sauvage cologne oil. I had the Sauvage cologne oil. I need to get the cologne.
There you go.
Yeah, I remember. I haven't worn cologne oil since you
Yeah.
you lambasted me. Donovan, you idiot. What are you doing? Geek Mode, School of React Native, $5 says, Donovan was the first person to put me on his show 3 years ago. Donovan, this is Duran. If you read this, Duran, what was his last name? His name was Duran. He lives out in Utah, and he was going to start something called the Ladies Champion. I still have the hoodie.
Uh-oh.
Dude, Duran, you need to reach out to me, man, because you definitely had some talent, man. Merciless, $10 super chat. Says, Donovan puts this towards a Ricky Waters jersey for the wall. Ricky Waters, of course, used to play for the Eagles. Kev, if you have 60 seconds to live, you could only game up a young man on one of two things, appearance or character. Which one? Wow.
You only have 60 seconds?
60 seconds to game up a young man before you die. What do you advise him on, appearance or character? Boy, that's tough. Oh, that's tough.
Well, I mean, people would want me to say character, but I'm going to tell you appearance.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why. Because the old adage, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. I'm sorry. We have evolved the way we've evolved.
Yeah.
Inside the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, people look at you and make 11 different assumptions that stick. And once those things stick,
confirmation bias attaches. You can have the best character. You can be Mother freaking Teresa or Gandhi. If I think you're a POS because you dress like crap, your appearance doesn't line up with an archetype that I remember or I think or associate with character or success or value, I'm not going to hear you in the correct mindset. I'm gonna look at you differently. That's why an image is so important, and men don't, because we're not the social of the species.
Mhm.
We undervalue the one thing that can change things. There's a reason you have camera here, things like this, because it freaking matters.
Right.
There's a reason you don't have 2 avatars and StreamYards up right now.
Right.
Because
Right.
it matters.
Not that that's a thinly veiled dig at other.
Well,
content
but you know
creators.
what I mean. I mean,
Sure,
it
sure.
matters. So, see, what we want to try to say is, well, one is more important than the other. No, we have associated guys with a great appearance as empty suits because of the counterculture of the '60s and in the black community,
Right.
the antisocial against the man kind of thing. When I'm sorry, your icons had both. I don't remember Martin Luther King in a hoodie or Malcolm X in shorts. So
Wow, very nice. Yeah, I think you said it best. A lot of people think they can be content creators because they have an opinion and a smartphone.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. Those are the people that I seek to separate myself from. There are content creators who have bigger channels than mine that do nothing but car videos. They do nothing but video. Those guys are few and far between. Those are the outliers. But I like doing it this way, just like you said, because it does matter, man.
Yes.
A lot of people are like, oh, it's just so busy in there. Yeah, you know what? No one says Rogan's podcast set is busy. No one talks about how busy somebody else's set is. That's what it comes down to.
it's organic.
Yes.
I say it all the time. We build the airplane as we fly it. It's a set should be living.
Yes, yes. It should be living and it should evolve, and that's going to be the wall of fame. We got Terrence Pop's picture. I was actually supposed to bring that today, but I was in a bit of a rush because I was getting ink. But yes, Kofa Fitness, $20 super chat says, police officer here in LA, and you two have inspired me to start a business. Huh, very good.
Good stuff.
All right, good stuff, man. Just understand that as an entrepreneur, you go from having one boss to having about 30 of them. So just keep in mind that you work for your audience, right? I think a lot of people don't understand that. Question here says, first, I want to give thanks to Mr. Samuels for his advice on shoes from the TSR archives. It has made a noticeable difference today. Today, I am getting another pair of Magnanis delivered next week. A local image consultant will begin to review my wardrobe. Wow.
There you go, man. McDonnie for the win.
Oh, okay, I see. I feel so stupid reading. See, all these people talk about this Dior Sauvage, and I'm like, Dior Sauvage. Listen, I'm ignorant, but listen, I'll just buy this stuff.
There you go.
Same guy says, now to my question. Mr. Samuels, you have the rare, uncanny ability to invite those that strongly disagree and utilize them in a manner that actually adds value to your platform. Can you share with us the importance of setting the prerequisite for critics to show themselves on camera and how it changes the dynamics of the conversation? Wow, very good question.
Okay. Well, anonymity invites boldness.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
So
it does.
the thing is, if you really are diehard on your position, you should have. It's from debate.
Show yourself.
It's from debate.
Yeah.
So if you want to you disagree, that's fine. And even if I never put him on camera, it's hard for people to look at you and tear you down. They have to look at you and understand that I have an opponent there. But if there can just be anonymous, people can just kind of go at you and become the worst versions of themselves. That's why, what was it? Twitter, because you can use any name on Twitter, right?
Of course you can, yeah.
And yeah, you see some of the worst. You want to see the worst behaving human beings. Allow them to be anonymous and speak.
Yep. There you go. There you go. Listen, I say this out of respect for your relationship with a certain content creator, but there's a certain content creator who constantly just disagrees with the things I say about black women. And to that content creator, he knows who he is. The reason I don't debate you is because I've never seen you moving. I've seen pictures of you. I've seen carefully crafted photographs of you. But every time, and I've actually seen you in the flesh. That's the only time I've seen you in the flesh. And oh, by the way, when I saw you in the flesh, I wasn't really that impressed. So I can't respect a man who doesn't show up on camera. I'm not debating you if you don't show yourself, okay? So shut your fucking mouth and quit running it for people to just give you a bunch of clout. I'm not going to address you unless you are on camera. If you are on camera, Obsidian, I will debate you. If not, shut the fuck up. So sick of that dude talking shit out of respect for your... Kevin has nothing to do with this. He didn't plan this. I know him and Obsidian are good friends. But I just can't stand people who talk shit behind an avatar. Like, dude, I've shown my face for 3.5, 4 years. Quit it. I'm done with it. And the one time I saw you live, I was not impressed. Not as impressed as you were, I'll tell you that much. Here's a question. Oh, this is going to make you mad. Oh, this is going to get Kevin upset. He says, Kevin, where's the best place to buy clothes and shoes while on a budget?
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I am very much on the budget. I believe in budget shopping. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Fit is more important than fashion. That means fit is more important than brand.
Okay.
If I'm on a budget, I say go to Suit Supply. Suit Supply, in my opinion, has some of the best suits, shirts, pants, polos, end-to-end stuff for any guy. And you can be in college or you can be an adult on a budget.
Okay.
Their suits, the Napoli line starts out at $369. You can go click a button.
Really? That's not bad.
They'll deliver it to you in 2 to 3 days. You can try it on in the comfort of your home. If you like it, you keep it. If not, you can send it back. I have tried dozens of subscription services, made-to-measure services.
How are those? Are those any good or no? Oh, okay. The slow shaking of the head. Okay, I'll take that as a no.
Because Suit Supply understands how to do value with style. So it's not cheap. It looks,
right.
Matter of fact, I will put my Suit Supply suits on and go into Tom Ford and they think it's theirs.
Wow.
And the Tom Ford suit is every bit of $8,500.
What?
So I often
wow.
I have custom suits, I have Tom Ford suits, and I have Suit Supply suits, and I splice in between them, and they all people.
Dude, $8,500. Okay, this is gonna sound like an ignorant question, man, because I've never owned a suit in my life, but I'm gonna have to if I'm gonna start doing this kind of stuff. What's the difference between an $8,500 suit and like a $1,500 suit?
The name.
Okay.
The name because the materials come from the same 3 or 4 mills. It's the fabric. It's kind of how the fabric is constructed. But at the end of the day, you got to get the fabric from one of 3 mills.
Okay.
Then it either goes to China or Italy for construction, or if it's a bespoke suit, it's actually done by someone.
A what suit?
Bespoke. That's just kind of made from no pattern.
Oh, okay.
But there is a difference, and I kind of relate it to this. I'm a cyclist, so there's a difference between an aluminum bike and a carbon fiber bike.
Of course, yeah.
But the difference is between a Cervelo R3, which is around $2,500 to $3,000, and the R3 Project California Team Dream, which is $15,000.
Wow.
Is negligible. I mean, yeah, you get a different tire, you get a different gear set, but I'm not getting a 5 times increase in performance or anything like that. So it really becomes kind of subjective at a certain point.
Okay. I'm gonna buy 2 custom suits, and I need you there to make sure I don't pay too much, but I want to make sure it's a good suit.
Gotcha.
Because at my event, I'm gonna have to look the part. And by the way, here I thought I was the man with my giant bicycle that I paid $700 for.
Well, Giant, Trek, Cervelo, Specialized, they're all in the same vein. But see, do you have a straight bar? Or do you?
I do. It's a straight bar.
See, that's a mountain bike.
Okay.
See, mine is a road bike, so I do like 100-mile races, 100-mile rides.
Wow.
And when you're
gangster.
And when you're riding that long, the difference between carbon fiber and aluminum, it's the impact on your body.
No shit.
Because aluminum is heavier, and you can feel the bumps and jolts. But aluminum tends to work better in some mountain bikes too.
Okay.
Biking is it's my shit. I love biking.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's so many different levels and layers to it.
So yeah,
That's one reason I'm looking forward to moving back to Reno, because that's when I laid down the most miles, because it never rains. Oh, I love it.
Nothing like clipping into your bike, put on your headphones, just going.
You just zone out the world, man.
There's no, especially for, people who, because I can stress out with the best of them. I used to, when I was going through a time where I was dealing with panic attacks.
Just get on the bike and you're good.
Zen.
Yeah, man. It's something else, man. It's something that you can't describe. I don't know exactly what you're talking about, man. Spencer with the $10 super chat says, I've learned a lot from the show, but why do guys think so many men, I included, have never heard some of the high value attributes that you guys speak on? Thank you. Fantastic show. That's interesting. I think that has a lot to do with the lack of masculine presence in today's culture. Am I wrong?
Well, we don't value men like we used to.
No, we don't.
That's why the TV show Mad Men was such a monster hit, because men of a recent generation could see men being men at home and in the workplace. They would go to work. They had liquor there, had cigarettes there, they're in suits.
Standard fare.
They're gonna making guy jokes, and we have devalued what it means to be a man, to where now we're suffering the ill effects of a generation of softer men. Guys are just not, I mean, imagine if we tried to build this country, these skyscrapers that we like, the roads we enjoy, if we tried to fight the wars that were fought with the soy boys, give peace a chance, we're all equal. Come on.
Get out of here with that, man. Yeah, that stuff doesn't. Listen, it's not going to cut it. That's why we're in the state that we're in. Shout out to Danny Chan with the $100 donation via PayPal. He actually donated another $100 a while back, and I missed it right off the show. Danny Chan, military guy. I actually did a show with him about. He's an ex-Marine, and he's telling his story about how he came to the Red Pill. Fascinating story. You guys definitely have to check that out. Jasmine Jade with the $2 super chat. I think she had a $4 super chat. Said that she loves listening to men and kissy faces and all that good stuff. So a little bit of thirst trapping there by Miss Jade.
She's a diehard, man. She comes back for her punishment.
Yeah, listen. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I'm impervious to female beauty. That's why I'm just an asshole like that. Blessing and a curse. Kevin says, Mr. Samuels, talk about your stance on high value men wifing up a girl in 6 months. Just because you have game in terms of money or networking, and money and game doesn't equal money, doesn't equal game. Networking doesn't necessarily mean you have game in dating women. Oh, he's got his thoughts all wrong. Essentially, do most men have enough game to vet and wife a girl that quickly? Lucario says, date a girl for a year before girlfriend and be your girlfriend for 3 to 5 years before a marriage. What are your thoughts on that?
All right, so you're basically asking me to give you my stance and combat Lucario's. I'm not going to combat Mr. Lucario because I respect. I don't like when people do that.
Yeah.
What you're asking me is to explain why I say that a man who knows he wants to get married can be married in 6 months. That's what you're asking.
Okay.
And that's the thing is, if men decide they want to get married and decide to go looking for a wife, and you already are looking for the woman that fits you.
Right.
So if you see today, we are more connected than ever before.
That's right.
You want to know about a woman, get her social security number, get her driver's license, and run a background check on her. Then after that, if it comes back clear, you can vet a woman thoroughly. But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to find love. I'm trying to find minimum risk and maximum outcome.
There you go. And you can find minimum risk and maximum outcome in 6 months or less.
Goddamn right.
That's the difference. Yeah, if you're looking for love, if you're looking for companionship, it's going to take you quite a while to thoroughly vet a woman. But if you're looking for a woman who's attractive enough to keep you satisfied in the bedroom, have enough utility to help you outside of the bedroom, it doesn't really take very long.
Not going to screw me. Here's what it's going to look like financially.
Yep.
All right. I mean, I think a lot of guys get confused thinking you're trying to make it to where, because here's the thing. I don't want to even use Mr. Lucario because I respect him.
Right.
Let's just say you do it for 3 years. If you don't do the things I said,
you still could end up screwed
Right.
up.
That's what I'm saying. Like time is of the essence, but if you can't do it in 3 to 5 years, you're not going to be able to do it in 6 months.
And again, high value men prize time more than anything
That's right.
else, and efficiency. If you know you're going to get married, you go looking for a wife because you need her to be your wife. Why? If you're going to try to move up the corporate ladder, you want to wait 2 to 3 more
Nope.
years.
If that time
you're ready
is
to get
valuable.
started.
That's it. That's right. Wow, very good. That's good. That makes perfect sense. I think he's mistaking, and again, he's mistaking. See, you're not looking for love. You're looking for respect. I'm looking to make a deal. That can be done in 6 months, and probably a lot less if a man understands women on that level. Godfather, why do so many sisters of a certain generation work so hard to become Mrs. Huxtable, but leave out the fitness and agreeable parts?
Because they're straight up lazy.
Yep, that's it.
Lazy, simply lazy. I mean, you hear me talk to women night after night after night who make excuses. Oh, I talked to a woman the other night. Oh, well, I used to work out, but now I can't because of the corona. And I said, okay.
Here we go.
You live in a town? You live in an apartment? Or I live in a townhome. You got stairs? Yeah, okay. Run up and down the stairs for 30 minutes till you break a sweat. I did it for 5.
Word
I'm
of
like,
God.
but the thing is, they're lazy. It's lazy. And our culture has allowed women to become lazy. I don't swim. Anything my hair, my nails, my this, my that. And I'm sorry, it just won't work.
Your hair, your nails, none of that matters if you are fat. Am I wrong? Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense.
Don't do the fat, man.
Come on, man. You can't, AK Whetstone, $10 says, thank you for all of the valuable information. Great show. Kevin, would you recommend a barber in Atlanta?
You know, I recommend there's 2 places. There's the Eclectic Barbershop, and then there's a place I go. It's called Rocky's.
Okay.
Rocky's Barbershop. So there are a lot of good barbershops in Atlanta.
It's Atlanta. Shit.
It's Atlanta.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll bet you some of the best barbershops are probably in Bankhead, that area. Hi, Kevin. I've been watching the show since before you've had 200 live stream viewers. Congrats on your growth. Of course, much of that growth has been due to material deconstructing the delusions of modern black women, which is both edifying and entertaining. But I view those failings as a symptom and not a cause.
Okay.
Will you be creating more content addressing the causes of these problems? I'm thinking specifically of what you call prosperity preachers such as Derek Jackson and Matthew Hussey. I think that would be entertaining and a good change of pace.
I'll touch on it, but I'm not going to go into it. See, one thing you guys got to stop asking content creators to be is a one-stop shop for everything.
Yeah.
You guys have asked me to talk about morals and principles and integrity.
Yep.
Look, I'm Pizza Hut makes pizzas. They don't sell burgers.
Right.
You know, we'll give you some wings maybe, but they're not the best. I make pizza. And I try to stay in my lane. And here's the thing, where we really go awry is when we try to broaden too much. There's riches in niches, gentlemen.
Yes. Oh, wow. Very good.
Niche down.
That's right. Listen, there is actually a restaurant in this area. They have all kinds of food, Mexican food, Chinese food, and believe it or not, it's actually all pretty good. That is the first restaurant I have eaten at where they specialize in everything.
Right.
That is the exception to the rule. No, you cannot be a good content creator being everything to everybody. And listen, I understand his question because he wants to know your opinion on something outside the scope of your main idea. But at the end of the day, you have a brand to maintain. You'll and every once in a while I'll step out and talk 30 seconds about something political or sports, whatever the case may be. But my lane is interpersonal dynamics between men and women, specifically how to vet, train, and maintain a solid relationship. That's how this is.
Well, I mean, we don't ask this of Fortune 2000, Fortune 500 companies. They do what they do.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. We don't ask Ford to make tricycles. That's how that works. Truthker says, Kevin, can you please speak on the importance of grooming for men, i.e., haircut, pedicure, and dental? Some brothers think pedicures are for women only. I actually fall into that camp.
Pedicures?
Yeah, what do you think?
Here's the thing. Grooming, yeah, haircut.
Yep.
Absolutely necessary.
Okay.
Keeping, I think the men should keep all their body hair kind of. You need a uniform. If you have more hair or less, that's what they have this thing called personal
lawnmower.
Yeah, but see, Now, as far as your hands, I think you keep your nails clipped and clean. But pedicures, I'm not a pedicure dude.
No, me neither.
I mean,
there you go, Dev.
but see,
straight from the horse's mouth.
But I understand. But I keep my toenails clipped.
Yep.
And I just don't like the way they feel, man. I've done when I got somebody playing with my feet.
I'm not a foot guy. I'm like a little kid. Like I'll start laughing and whatnot. I agree with you. I keep my fingernails. My fingernails on toenails. I keep them decent enough for them not to look nasty. That doesn't mean that they're marginal, but I'm not. I just don't pay much attention to them because I'm a man.
My feet are, strangely enough, for somebody who can break bricks with his feet, they are. My toenails are clipped, but it's I don't need them either. I don't have corns and bunions and everything else like that, and I don't wear flip flops. So you'll never see my toes.
Okay.
I'm not.
I'm a flip flop guy. So yeah.
And so I will say that. Look. It doesn't make you, if you like to indulge yourself, but I don't think guys should go around bragging about pedicures.
I would agree with that.
And this is coming from the guy they say wears a man purse.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
right, exactly.
I'm not gonna brag about a damn pedicure.
Chuck, $5 says, question: when meeting with potential blue collar clients, is it better to dress down, business casual, to be more relatable to them? That's an interesting question.
I've always rejected that.
Okay.
Let me tell you why I rejected it. Because I respect your blue collar and I want you to respect my white collar. Now, here's the thing. It presupposes that blue collar men would be offended by a white collar guy, and I look at blue collar men are some of. If you look at who's higher value, it tends to be blue collar men.
Sure.
Because they can go into trades and they can become business owners quicker. Mm-hmm. And they also understand the value of hard work and all that other kind of stuff. Plus, once they take off their uniforms or whatever they're doing in their blue collar, they have their own version of dressed up.
Okay.
So I used to have that often. People would say, you don't want to outdress your clients and this and that. And I always wore my suit out into...
Kevin said, I'm stunting.
I've sat in there and go into a garage and I'm in my suit, and the guy's like, yeah,
right.
But I get the inclination. But see, people want to do business with successful people.
That's right. That's right. If you don't look successful, people will not assume that you are.
If you're a financial, let's say you wanted to be somebody's financial representative, you wanted to be their personal financial representative, and they drove up in a beat up Honda, you're gonna be like.
Say
no, thank you. I'm not going to invest with you. So,
Aaron Housh, $20 says, Donovan, I'm a custom. Do you pronounce that clothier?
Clothier.
Oh, clothier. See that? All right. Taylor, in MLD's group, located 1 hour north of Philly, would love to suit you up. Find me at Rogues and Dregs on IG, and I have the Godfather vet my results. Holy shit, man. Hey, Dev, do a screen cap on that. Yeah, I would love to be able to do that.
The benefit of being a content creator.
I'm telling you what, man. And listen, I'm not gonna no free lunch, man. Like I will pay the money. Don't worry about that. Coach EO, Mr. Champion Gam.
Oh, he's
with the $10 super chat.
Give you this suit because the promotion is the suit.
Oh, okay. All right. See, I don't know this. All I know how to do is create content. I don't know anything else, man. Can you imagine how far I would be? Oh my God, who knows? So Coach EO, Mr. Champion Gams, has been following Kevin since the beginning. Smart man, great show, gentlemen. That guy looks kind of familiar. I think he's been on Steve's show. Yeah. Coach EO. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Shout out to EO.
Okay, good stuff. He looked familiar to me.
They used to call him. They used to give him shit saying that's John B.
Oh yeah. He definitely looks like he messes with the sisters. Speaking of which, this is gonna be the last question. Says Kevin, what is your opinion on the swirling community? I know you've had Crystal and Karazin on your show a while back, and that movement is taking off with the, quote, burn the cape mentality spreading more and more. So what is your overall opinion on the swirling community? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, swirl, as I understand it, is black women supporting, dating the best man possible, but really black women dating white men. And what I understand is I've listened to some of the content, and even though I've heard some really harsh things said about brothers, But here's the thing. I expect to be talking to men who expect to be successful.
Right.
Men who are driven. And I don't care about what Bradley, Ahmed,
Richard,
or Enrique.
Yeah, right.
Those are the Blakes. I call them the Blakes because I've never lost. I don't mind what happens with Brad. So if you want to date Brad, enjoy, because I'm happy for you. But it's not as though one is a better option over me because I'm winning. Now, see, the thing that the swirling community has typically had, as I understand it, they always frame against dusty, busted, crusty,
of course,
unproductive men, and that ain't never been me. So for guys who are working, showing their work, doing their thing, it's all abundance. But see, it's all also about thing. Are you happy?
Yep.
Many of these women who are in this movement cannot show you a white husband. Can show you a non-black husband.
Right.
So whatever it is, see, I never looked at it as a threat, and honestly, guys that are kind of like myself, you're the kind of men they would want to date anyway.
There you go. Definite G echoes my sentiments. He says swirlers are just a cry for attention. I totally agree, man. And I say this all the time, man. I didn't just wake up one day and decide, you know what? I am not going to date black women anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was just a natural progression in my overall growth as a man. The better I became with women, the less attractive and subsequently invisible black women became to me. I didn't jump on YouTube. All right, guys, you know what? I've made a decision. I am going to no. Black women who are a part, and listen, Crystal and Karazin, I've heard that she's married to a white guy. Listen, congratulations to her. But she is the exception to the rule. Now, she'll never, and I don't know Crystal, and I know that there are some guys who are actually friends with her, but Crystal's the exception to the rule. The average black woman can't marry a white guy. It just doesn't work that way. And so all these other women who are a part of the swirling movement, it is just a cry for help. Look at us, black men. We're going to go over here and date these white boys. Okay, we're going to do it. We're really doing it for real this time. What they want to happen? No. Don't swirl. You need to stick and date with a black man. That's what they want. They want us to come chasing after them. And the ain't shit brothers of the world are the ones that come running. But they stay in that swirling movement because the high value brothers don't want or need anything to do with them.
Well, like I said, even, and I have nothing against Crystal or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean,
but here's the thing. Even when she was on my channel, she mentioned that in her movement, she's having a real challenge getting black women to understand that fitness is a key component to being able to date. So when you start talking about men of a certain caliber, you judge success in long-term relationships and marriage. And that, show me the outcomes. That's all I ask is show me the outcomes of your swirling thing. And if you're getting the outcome you want and you're happy, you really shouldn't have anything negative to say or anything bad to say because you should be happy with life.
I agree. Kevin, dude, hell of a show, man. You absolutely brought the thunder. One of the things I love about doing individual shows with you is that I learned something of substance every time, like the whole black suit and the help thing.
Yeah,
it's like you inform me of things that I knew but didn't know that I knew, right? Like, you understand that? But dude, listen, hell of a show. Always a good time. Dude, we are about to go, and I'm gonna have a freaking 48-ounce steak. I'm gonna have me some lobster bisque, and I'm gonna eat until I can't eat anymore. Guys, again, like, comment, subscribe. This is not going to stay up on YouTube, guys. This is going to be put on Patreon. This show in its entirety is going to be put on Patreon. I'm going to have Devin cut out 5 to 10 minute clips to put out on YouTube. This is going to be specifically for patrons only. My patrons who are wondering why I haven't done a live show in a while on Sharpe Stream, it's because of this. We are moving to a bigger studio. Yes, I have upgraded Studio B, so we are moving to another space next week. Yes. Not only that, we've got C Boogie as well as Solo TV 84, both in studio on Saturday. Tuesday, we've got Hotep Jesus. Friday, we've got Minister Jap. And then on Sunday, my models, my driver, my cameraman, my makeup girl are all flying in from around the country to shoot Womanese Volume 3 live and on location. So this is why I haven't been doing a lot of my individual content. So I am I'm very, very busy. I'm hard at work. I'm going to take a much needed break and vacation. Dev and I are going to Hawaii here in 3 weeks, but I'm still going to do shows from the road.
Right.
So still going to be working. Whiskey earned $20 is a great show. Glad I could be here for this one, fellas. Kevin, thank you very much for doing this show. You always show out. That's going to do it from here at Studio B. We will see you guys on Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Take care.